This is like a mid-week update or some shit. But I'm in week 3 currently now. I've like started to read it. I'm trying to take it as I go within my schedule. But I've read the anger and the, oh my god, what is it? Not skepticism. That was previous week. Yeah, anger, and then it was, oh, it's at the tip of my tongue, and I want to remember this one. Spontaneity. No. Spontaneity. Hold on. Okay. It is. What is it? Synchronicity. Synchronicity. Okay. So, I was sitting here and I was watching Severance, which is such a good show, by the way. Please don't spoil it. And at the end of last week, I've been in such a good vibe, and I felt literally the most me that I've ever felt in my entire life. And I don't think I felt that way since I was like a young child. The reason I say this is because like I feel like I was pushing down all these different feelings of just not even like femininity or queerness. I don't know, just like more, what's that word? I'm losing words today, guys. Flamboyancy, gang. Flamboyancy. That's it. I never really lost my flamboyancy, but I pushed it down a lot. And that's something that I've refound within my identity, I think, especially after last week. And then this is week 3 now, and I'll be real. Like, whatever's going on in life, people have their family shit. I have my family shit. And there's a lot of anger associated there that I've dealt with my whole life. And it's affected me in myself throughout my whole life, in terms of not knowing how to process boundaries, being constantly pushed down and dismissed and stepped over, to the point where you don't have any boundaries and you're angry at yourself for not setting them. But the actual fact is, it came from a place that someone did just step over them. So you never really learned how to, create boundaries and be comfortable and safe in them. Because once you realize that, once you start setting boundaries, and the guilt and the shame that follow is actually not yours, it's learnt, then you kind of transform. And I've got this thing. This is what it says. I mean, obviously that's fucking backwards for you guys for this video. But it says, "Welcome to Merk's paradise. Movement creates boundaries. Boundaries allows creation. Creation needs collaboration. And collaboration brings growth. And all that loves mindfulness." It's real. It's really real. I don't know if this... Can you see me? Who gives a fuck? But anyway, back to this week. Anger. Anger is, in this here, something that really has stuck with me, because something just happened today where I set a boundary and it was stepped over, and I just expressed what I needed, to not be fucked with after I finished work and talking to people all day. Like I was so tired, I just needed to have time by myself, and then because I expressed that, it's almost like, because I expressed that what I need, it's actually used against me. And it's like, instead of me saying, okay, I need this, it's been taken to the point where that's a sign of vulnerability. Like, ooh, that's a vulnerability that I can pick on, And that creates just anger naturally in someone. Now, I hate getting angry. I hate having anger in my heart. I think I associate that very heavily with masculinity and like toxic masculinity. But this part here reminded me that anger is part of humanity and a part of the human experience. But it also said that, I'll just read this, okay, because I think it's really important. Anger is fuel. We feel it and we want to do something. We do everything but listen to it. I'm like paraphrasing, I'm going to jump to different parts. We do everything but listen to it. And I think because anger is it feels so negative, and it also affects other people. Like, we're told not to be angry, which in my own family dynamic, that doesn't fucking make any sense. But anyway, like, with anger, it's not, it's a tell. It's a tell of what to focus on. Here it says, anger is meant to be listened to. Anger is a map. Anger shows us what our boundaries are. Like, if anger is showing up, and the thing is, I realize that I take in information when I read it, and then, like, it sits in the back of my mind. So when something does happen, I, like, automatically kind of start doing something. Like, I'm not even consciously, like, literally in my consciousness. It's, like, subconscious. It's weird. When you read something in this book, all the things happen subconsciously. When you really take it in and you really put in the work and you really, like, put yourself in an environment where you're listening, this shit actually works in your favor. And it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. I understand why a lot of people don't read this often. Or, like, understand why people don't give themselves time to read this often, because it is really intense. And, I think a lot of people struggle with that time management because they are blocked artists. I know most people in my life that I, knew and know, I've found a lot of kind of peace in what I'm doing, and obviously financial stuff gets stuck in the way. But I think actually allowing yourself time to think about what you actually want and how slow you want to go and how fast you want to go, you don't actually get to think about how much time you have to just spend bettering yourself. Mindfulness. This is like meditation when I get to read this book and do this stuff. or it like matters so much. Like every single morning, the fact that you have to get up half an hour, like it says, you know, get up half an hour early and do all this shit, it's great. It's great. Like, I am grateful I don't feel like I needed to do that. But this morning, like, you know, every single morning, I do the morning pages consistently. You know, I do it consistently, and I'm very proud of myself for doing that. And when I tell you, like, it matters so much. It matters so much that you do that, and then also do the artist day. It gives you a structure in your life as well. Like, I can see that, okay, cool, I have an artist date on the Wednesday. So in the middle of my week, I have an artist date. Fucking A. And then I know that I do a video where I upload or whatever, which I think I might change. I think I'm going to change it to Sundays. But besides the point. Relating to this angry moment, I got really angry. I didn't react outwardly. I really sat with that anger, and I was like, oh, ooh, fuck. I'm being tested right now, like, for real. Like, I've been very exhausted from having a very physical week of exercise and just consistency. And I just needed to decompress today. And I wasn't able to do my recovery stuff as well as I wanted to. So what processed in my mind was, and then I say this subconsciously as well, is I was like, okay, well, I need to retreat. I need to retreat into my own space, make a safe zone, put on some fucking incense, watch some Severance, maybe smoke a little, and just vibe. And I realized that all of the pain just washed away. Just washed away. Like, so good. And this book is magical because the shit just goes in subconsciously. I'm still trying to feel synchronicity. I saw a little bit of a glimpse of it today. It was the second time that someone had mentioned to me that I should study psychology. Like, I know that I want to, like, do something creative, like, and I don't know why that sticks in my head, like you know, acting or making film or just doing something poetic and a vibe of a thing, you know, like, I don't really know how to explain it yet. Avant-garde, that shit. But I don't want it to exist in a vacuum. I want it to be a part of the culture. And when I say the culture, I don't mean, like, you know, American culture. I mean worldly culture. You know? Like, I mean, there's another video on this, really. Like, I could talk to you guys about this for fucking ages, but, like, how I see art, I have seen politicians in Australia, the US, etc., the entire time I've been alive. It's relatively been a joke. It's relatively been some fucking silly thing. You know, I remember, like, Julia Gillard was Prime Minister, and then Kevin Rudd was Prime Minister, and then they kicked him, and then just put fucking Julia Rudd. Jesus Christ! Anyone else have like these Yui Boom jump scares? They put like Julia Gillard in there, and then and then they put Tony Abbott, and I remember that time, and I was like, fuck, like, it's just, yeah, politicians, I don't know, politics is a bit silly, because there's nothing real about it, you're having to pretend and, have an image just to run things. It's all about like talking about this and shit like that. Albanese actually seems kind of dope. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was the first time I gave a fuck about Australian politics. Real talk. But we'll see. I don't even know about like what he's doing right now. That's how much I give a fuck. But I digress, as I usually do. I believe that to really change society and change the way that we think and influence the world in large and impactful ways, we need to create art. I want to create art and say things that go out into the universe and affect people, because people are the ones that change society, like mass thought. Like, take for instance, or no, you know what? I'm gonna double back on politics for a second. I think it's a joint effort. Yeah, that's a much more mature thing how to think about it. It's a joint effort, because art has a massive role in shaping society. Like, look at Barbie, for instance. Like, there have been a history of, women's suffrage and us all getting to a place where, women are at the forefront, and it's a conversation, and we've tried to create a more safe society, and it's obviously still not fucking there. Like, still, there's evil people out there with evil minds. Yep, we've come a far way, like, bro, imagine like 1950s, like imagine like a Charlie XCX just jumping up on a stage and doing what she does, like, that's reality now. That's awesome. I believe in art more than structure. I think it is the resistance. You look at like the year 1983. I got really obsessed with the year 1983 recently for some reason. I just realized that a lot of my songs that I like from the past have like existed in 1983, and it is because that year was such, like, everyone was so emotional, or what I could see, everyone was so highly emotional and highly expressive. Example, 1983, you got Thriller, you got Holiday by Madonna, which was the first, like, pop-off single of, the vibe that she did. You got 1999 by Prince, which was, that's fucking awesome. You had, at that time, it was just after the Cold War, and everyone was so... This is what I'm trying to remember. I might be fucking completely wrong, but I don't want to be wrong, obviously, and put that into the universe. But people were so highly paranoid about the Cold War, and very just paranoid about everyone watching, and what came was extreme resistance and extreme emotion expression, and so then we got extreme glam. Sorry, that was in front of my face the entire time. Extreme glam. Think Cyndi Lauper. Girls just want to have fun. What's up? And then you have extreme punk, like extreme goth. You have The Cure, you know. That was what was existing at that time. And then also it was the start of MTV. Like, that was the rise of MTV. Just think about how culturally relevant MTV is, you know? I don't know, when I think of MTV, I think of, like, Nirvana. Just resistance. And just, like, fucking anti-establishment. And that, I think, gives people a voice. When they know that they can just shout their opinion and the reality of the world, it gives them a voice to say no. Or to say, fuck you, we don't want to do what you want. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. I just realised that, yeah. Yeah, was it Kill the Machine? No. You know what I mean. Yeah, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Yeah. But anyway, that was a digression. But, yeah, this book is dope.